Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we will be exploring the XP Pen 15.6 Pro Drawing Display tablet that I received from the folks at XP Pen, and this is a mid-range drawing device that brings more than you'd wish for. And today we'll take a look at this beauty and see where the strengths and weaknesses lies, and most importantly, if this is the device for you. So all of the wordings and opinions about this video is my personal opinion about it. So with that said, let's get right into it. Unboxing the device is pretty interesting. The device came properly packaged with a set of protective layers. Inside the package is the display, the stand, the pen holder, which serves as a container that houses an extra set of nibs, and a batteryless pen, which simply means that you don't have to charge the pen to use it. The pen is also set to have tilt support, a set of reeds for documentation purposes, and the famous XP Pen drawing gloves, with of course a couple of cables to simply connect this device. And connecting this is also very interesting, as this also comes with a set of adapter heads. Interestingly enough, setting up the XP Pen is pretty simple. The device itself comes with a radial dial, which we'll explore in a bit, 8 customizable buttons, which comes in very handy, especially when you want to make those quick shortcuts, an on and off button, a brightness control button, and finally a USB-C port. Now the USB-C port is the only connection port that you find on this device, and it's responsible for both power and display. The device itself is 11mm thick, and it has 178 degrees of viewing angle for picture display with a 120% sRGB. And for image resolution, you'll be getting a Full HD, which is a 1920 by 1080. Sure, this device is pretty cool for those who like to do painting, texturing, and of course sculpting. And when we talk about sculpting, it is also worth knowing that once you're working with this device, it is pretty interesting. The pen itself has tilt support. At the same time, the pressure level is just beautiful. So this is going to be an easy breeze for those who like to sculpt and also do some texture or painting work. One thing which I really love about this device and the whole build for this is the connecting adapters. So these are quite impressive and interesting to look at, as you have lots of options. So depending on the region where you're coming from, or the region where you stay currently, and the socket type that you have a couple that you can switch with. So you can simply switch from the 4 that have been provided, and you can play with as many options as possible. So one thing that actually stood out for me is once you connect this device, this just simply works. So it's pretty easy that you can get in and start sculpting and painting and signing signatures and doing all of that stuff. It works with or without the driver. But then to get the best experience out of this, you need the driver. So once you install the driver, customizing this is very easy. By default, the radial dial is tied to a particular kind of function which you can toggle through at a given time. So this includes the scrolling, zooming, brush size, rotate, and you can interchange this depending on the action of choice. The buttons, on the other hand, like I mentioned earlier, are all customizable for various options, and these are to specific apps, which means that you can load a particular app at a given time or a particular suite of apps, and you have different controls or different keybinds depending on what you saved them as. Now after setting up this, working with it is just super easy because, you know, jumping into Blender, trying a couple of things, jumping back into ZBrush, and also going over to Photoshop just felt quite natural. Like the way this works once you're painting across the screen, it feels like paper rather than glass. It's just very interesting. To be frank, I kind of love enjoying with this one way better than a couple of other drawing tablets that I've owned previously. And one thing which I noticed is I didn't get to run into that crazy kind of issues like, you know, poor button recognition when you're doing a particular thing, or reminding the software that you love to work with Windows Ink rather than working in a mouse mode. And that is just one of the things I sort of had issues with previous drawing displays that didn't get to notice or run into for this particular one. So it's a really nice option for those who like something that they can customize, especially, you know, you like to make customizations for the buttons, and at the same time you like to get that dial to increase the brush size at a given time, or maybe reduce the brush size, or even scroll the internet. So in comparison to my previous XP Pen 22e Pro, in terms of size, the 15.6 is much more smaller, but then this puts out more vibrant colors and you have more viewing angles. On the other hand, it also makes sense to know that this is less bulky. But with that said, the XP Pen 15.6 does have a downside. There is a kind of thing that I did notice with small displays. So we've talked about a couple of other displays before, and these things just simply exist with small displays. And I don't know how much of an inclination you would like when you're working with your display, but it's one thing that stands out for me: the stand. the stand isn't adjustable. It's not as adjustable like I would love it. So it is solid once you get it all set up and running, but it doesn't have the elevation support. So to get things working, you have to lean forward. So discount that, you have yourself a wonderful piece of hardware that you can use to create so many amazing stuff. And that is just about it for the XP Pen 15.6 Pro. So for those looking for a drawing display that they can use for illustrating, retouching, sculpting, painting, doing those general display tablet stuff, you might want to consider checking this one out. So that's more like it. For those who want to check this one out, links to this is going to be in the description, where you can go over to the folks at XP Pen and see all of the amazing things that they have to offer. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.